Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, all. Happy Moon Day. Happy Moon Day. We have another new moon on a moon day. How very fitting. And it's a Cancer new moon. Cancer being the sign of the moon, an archetype that embodies that lunar energy. So thank you all for being here today. Welcome, welcome. Dream State Visions, Gabrielle, hi. Hi, Sage, welcome. Settle in, get cozy. That Cancerian energy wants you to feel cozy and safe. Hi, SC, welcome. So as you settle in, I am going to see if I can get a little background music going. And we can nuzzle into this beautiful Cancer new moon. How are you feeling? This I want to know. How are you feeling this new moon? Hi, Kaz. What feelings, emotions have been coming up for you? What's real for you right now? What's in your sphere right now? Kaz says, this new moon feels so special. I woke up feeling new. Ooh. Me too, sister. Me too. Who else? What else is going on? How are you feeling? What's coming up for you? Oh, SC says it feels like a full moon since there is something to release. Yes. Time to let go. Time to move on. Time to grow. Dream state. I woke up feeling ready to set some important boundaries in place. Heck yes. Oh, we're going to talk about that. I'm so glad you brought that up. Absolutely on point, sister. Gabrielle, a mixture of emotions, still working it out. Moving through the wave, right? Trying to make sense of everything that's coming up for you. These are beautiful shares. Thank you all so much for sharing what's coming up for you. I can resonate with every single one of the things that you've shared. Kaz, my capacity for love has grown. My emotions feel lighter. I am a Cancer rising and moon, so it feels very personal. Oh, yeah. Sounds like you're getting a super double dose of love from the universe today. Let's see what we can do with that energy. Awesome. So our new moon rituals work like this. If this is your first time with us, we are going to talk a little bit after we center in our hearts, talk a little bit about the new moon, some themes that might be coming up for you so you have that greater awareness and can utilize this cosmic energy to support your creative journey. And then we will center ourselves and explore the new moon affirmations that I've channeled, but I'll also give you an opportunity to create your own, develop your own, feel into your own for this new moon. And then if you wish to share, you can share, and we will affirm as a group, as a collective, we will affirm your seeds, your manifestation wish for this new moon, and you'll have all that energy of the group backing you. So this is definitely a good place to be if you're ready to truly seed some growth into your life. So you may want to have a journal and a pen or something to write on. You definitely want to be in a safe place, somewhere you feel like you can really be present. I've got a few items with me. I've got some crystals with me, my peach and my white selenite. And I also have another little thing that I'm going to share in a minute. And then there will be time for sharing your affirmations at the end. So let's get into our hearts. First and foremost, always and forever. As Sacred Heartists, we are determined and devoted and committed to coming from our heart space in everything we create and how we communicate and live our lives. And it's not always easy, but the tools that we learn here through Awakened Creators and in our spiritual journey at large, we can use to help us move through this creative path. So today we're going to take some nice big deep breaths into the belly and just release with a big old sigh everything that has come before this day, everything that's on your plate after this ritual. We're just going to get present. So let's breathe deeply now into our bellies, big as you can go, and sigh it out. Letting it all go. Big deep breath into the belly and sigh it out. And just release, relax your shoulders, settle more grounded into your space. And again, deep breath into the belly and release. Permission to be here now. Permission to love on yourself in this moment, in this creative family that you have here with you and supporting you on this day. I'd like us to do at least 3 yam chants. We'll probably end up doing 5, but we are going to yam. And yam is the seed sound of the heart chakra. And we want to, again, connect to that heart chakra. So when we chant yam, we're really feeling that vibration, allowing that balance to be restored into the heart space. So you'll take a nice big deep inhale and then you will yam and try to allow that energy to really flow freely. You may want to drop your jaw and really allow that yam to come out of you in your best singing voice, right? Ah, and let it come out. So let's yam together. Inhaling in and maybe you place your hands over your heart as you yawn. Inhale. Again. One more time. Restoring balanced, calm breathing, gentle, feeling at home in your body, feeling at home in this space, in this community, feeling at home in your heart. Entered. Let's talk about this new moon. So those of you who have been around Awakened Creators for a little while know that we use the moon. It moves in a cycle, the same way that our creative energy flows. Inspiration comes down. We conceptualize in our mind. We push out with our physical body, our will to create, and then we rest back in spirit until we get inspired again. And these cycles can happen really quickly, they can happen in long spurts. It just really depends on you and your personal connection to the divine. So, new moons and full moons remind us of the cyclical nature of creativity, of life itself, of our journey. And it's important because it gives us an opportunity to reflect on the fact we cannot be doing all the time. That there is a time for darkness, there is a time for rest, and a new moon is a coming together of the sun and the moon. It is a birthing. It is a union between the sun, which represents our soul, our masculine energy, that part of us that wants to shine and be, and our moon, our feminine side, the part of us that wants to feel and emote and receive and even bring up shadow so that we can cleanse and clear ourselves. So when we have a new moon, we have this joining together of the sun and the moon, and depending on the sign archetype that we learn through studying astrology, we can find out the themes that this particular new moon might be wanting to help you seed. So, as we're coming together, we're seeding, we're birthing the new. I want to ask you, just before we even get into talking about the Cancer archetype, what do you feel like you're being called to seed in your life right now? I know I heard someone say boundaries. Um, what else do you feel like you're being called to seed right now? And you can just share that in the chat. So we use new moons at Awakened Creators to help us manifest. We want to take advantage of the energy that we have available to us from the cosmos. Um, Gabrielle saying strength. Yes. Is that what you're feeling called to seed right now? Hi, Gilberto. It's nice to see you. Good news on the new moon. Absolutely. Overcoming childhood stuff is the perfect full or new moon for that. Cancer is the archetype of mother. Confidence in my uniqueness and what I offer to the universe, and boundaries. Absolutely. So now that you're kind of starting to reflect on what you might be being asked to seed at this time and how that can serve your creative journey, let's look at the archetype of Cancer. And I actually felt called before I went on live. I wasn't planning to do this, but Spirit said, get out the Queen of Cups card from the Tarot. And I know why we're being asked to reflect on this card, because she really is somewhat the epitome of Cancer energy, right? We have this feminine energy that is connected to the waters, representing our emotions and our feelings, our ability to tune in. That's that sensitivity that creatives are so adept at. Just naturally, you have this knack for feeling into things. And a lot of times, especially growing up, it can feel like a curse, that sensitivity. But as you grow and move along your creative journey, you realize it's quite a strength to be able to feel. But what we sometimes fail to learn, I know in my own experience, I'm still learning this, is how do we interact with and engage with emotions and feelings without becoming completely overwhelmed by them, right? Because you don't see the Queen of Cups being like swallowed by a tsunami of feelings. And in fact, she is the only Cups card where the cup is closed. It has a lid, it's contained. And so the Queen of Cups is really helping us understand that Cancerian energy. And if you're a Cancer or you know a Cancer, maybe you also know that sometimes they can shut tight, right, in their little shell and not want to let their squishy insides be felt because their emotions are so very sensitive that there can be that shutdown, that closing of the lid. And while in a balanced way, that's actually can be really helpful for us to learn to embody. But if it gets out of balance, right, then we can become rigid and cold. So Cancer is asking you to think about your creative journey and where you're at right now, and where you're at in your personal life and your relationships, and how you're feeling as far as being emotionally secure. Do you feel emotionally secure? When your feelings and emotions come up, do you feel like you have the boundaries, the lid for your cup? Or does your water slosh all over the place and splash on people and drown yourself in it, and it becomes maybe overwhelming? Um, or, and again, this is what we're going to seed a little bit today, is where can we take a more nurturing, balanced approach to our emotions, to our feelings, and not learn to hide them in the shell, but just to contain them. Okay? Just to contain them. Um, so that containment is not meant to restrict, but it's meant to help protect our goodness and our feeling. Wings of Jewels, yes, calling in unconditional love and peer support. Thank you all for helping each other in the chat. So we're talking about our ability to nurture and care for our own feelings. Okay. And there are a lot of feelings on the creative journey, right? I would love to hear you list some of the feelings, the big feelings that come up along the creative journey. Maybe you feel rejected, right? If someone doesn't buy your art, or if you apply for an audition for something and it doesn't go through, that feeling of rejection, of being unloved, unwanted, those are big feelings, right? Maybe you feel a lot of judgment, comparison, like you're not good enough, unworthiness, big, big feelings. Okay. And there can also even be more positive feelings that feel really big and really excitement and all of those things. But even those big positive feelings, we want to make sure we're just always staying in balance. Okay. Intimate, vulnerable. Yes, very vulnerable, right? So if you imagine this Cancerian energy is like, how do you nurture yourself as you split open your ribs and you show the world your heart, your art? You're putting yourself on display when you share your art. You're sharing your deeply authentic self. Gabrielle, yes. So how do we cultivate a sense of safety as we do that? Because we're the only ones that can do that for ourselves. We can't expect our partners to help us feel safe. I mean, they might, but at the end of the day, we're with us all of our life. All of our life, we have us. That's why in the post leading up to this moon, I said, you are your home. You are the home where you're always creating in. You can move from here to here to there. You can change relationship from here to here to here, but you always are at home inside yourself. And so is your home inside yourself a place where you feel safe? A place where you feel like when things come up for you, you're safe and secure to feel them, not become overwhelmed or drowned by them, but that it is all being contained and protected in this loving, nurturing way. Okay. So, as we are opening up to allowing our feelings to guide us along our journey, we are opening up also to learning how to feel better. I feel like that's what this new moon is asking. How do we feel better when things come up for us? How can we help ourselves feel better? So, that's having those boundaries, that unconditional love, that strength, those things that you are calling in right now, that peer support, right? Those are all things that we can cultivate in order to feel more safe and more nurtured along our creative path. So let's explore some of the affirmations that I've created for this new moon. And I want you to, in the back of your mind, maybe think about your own. But the reason I like to do this is because it helps you feel into where you're at right now. And again, this is a place of complete non judgment. Whether you feel good saying an affirmation or not, all it is information. It's feedback from your body about the resonance of something. And if you state an affirmation and it does not resonate with you, you have a couple of choices. You can find a different affirmation that does resonate with you. Or if you're curious, you can start a dialogue with yourself about why that particular affirmation does not resonate with you. And you can learn a lot about yourself and about your belief systems and your thought patterns by looking at that dissonance and asking yourself why. Why does that not feel good? What about that isn't resonating with me? So, as we are speaking aloud these affirmations, I really want you to get in tune with your body, and we're going to center with some breaths to do so. And I want you to feel into how it feels to say these affirmations. And if you want to share what feedback your body is giving you as you state them aloud, you can, and we'll support each other through those experiences. So, the first affirmation, and we're going to get back in our happy place. Slow down your breath with a nice big breath. Inhale and exhale. Maybe you place your hands on your heart to feel into your body. Maybe you place them on your knees, whatever feels good to you. And you're going to repeat after me. We'll say each affirmation about 3 times and just feel into what comes up for you when you say it. I am creating an emotional world inside myself that nurtures my creative expression. I am creating an emotional world inside myself that nurtures my creative expression. Feeling into your body, how it feels. I am creating an emotional world inside myself that nurtures my creative expression. Hmm. Creating that emotional world inside yourself, a place of nurturing where you feel safe to express yourself creatively in your own little world, in your own space, within your own body. So, tuning into that one, I am creating an emotional world inside myself that nurtures my creative expression. How does that feel? This one feels really gentle for me, um, like a mother's kiss goodnight, just very soft and comforting. And it's also something that I deeply crave, that nurturing of my creative expression. Gabrielle says this feels warm. I see throat chakra activated with the creative expression words. Always the throat this year. You're doing some deep Well, deep throat work. I don't know, that sounded weird, but yeah, that third chakra activated for sure. Dream state. This one feels so good. Like we are keeping the lights on in the home of our childhood imagination, keeping the fire lit. Mm. Mhm. Well, maybe we can use this one also as a reminder to ourselves when the water starts sloshing in our cup. Ah, yes, I sense those strong emotions, but I am creating an emotional world inside myself that nurtures my creative expression. So, how can you, in that moment, then be more nurturing of your creative expression? If you were to put on the hat of the mother of your own life, regardless of your relationship to your actual mother, putting that to the side, you are now the mother of your life. How would you nurture your creative expression? What would you say to yourself in that moment? Let's feel into the next one. Entering ourselves and our heart. I am opening up my heart to the love that it deserves. And in this affirmation, when we say heart, we also mean your art, your creative work. I am opening up my heart to the love that it deserves. Maybe you drop the he on the art and you just say art. How does that feel? I am opening up my art to the love that it deserves. Mm. In the background for me on this one, I feel the calling to love my art more, to love where I'm at skills wise on my journey, because it is so deserving of love. And would I like to be maybe farther along? I don't know. Maybe some of you struggle with that, wishing you were better at what you do. Can you open up your heart to the love that it deserves? Open up your art to the love that it deserves. Hmm. Oh, Dream State says this one made me cry and receive a throat lump. Okay, because I am trying so hard to open up to new experiences that will get my work seen by more people locally. I have been feeling called to just be proud of myself. Ooh, yes. Your art is so worthy of love. What you want to create from the heart is so deserving of love. I am opening up my heart, my art, to the love that it deserves. How can you love your art more? How can you love where you're at on your creative journey more? Your abilities, where you are at, is perfect and beautiful. I liken this to a child learning to walk. And if that child is bumbly and stumbly, how does that loving mother love that child as it's learning to walk? That's you. That's you learning to speak to yourself, treat yourself with kindness, open yourself up to receive that love for where you're at right now. It's okay, honey. You did an amazing job. I'm so proud of you for trying. I'm so proud of you for putting in your best effort. You get to talk to yourself in whatever way feels really loving and good to you. Mm. Kaz says this one feels illuminating, a perfectly aligned affirmation to the non judgment and self love I've been practicing. Yes. Let's love ourselves more. Let's love our hearts more. Let's love our art more. Where we're at is perfect and beautiful and worthy and deserving of love. Let's move into the next one. Hmm. Kind of piggybacking on the same theme. I am treating my art and creative abilities with love and caring. I am treating my art and creative abilities with love and caring. Mm. I am treating my art and creative abilities with love and caring. Are you? There might be some heartbreak sensed in this one if you've not been very loving and caring towards your art and creative abilities. Maybe a need to go back and rewatch that Ho'oponopono video, do some self forgiveness, some self love practices, move through that heart chakra, write yourself a love letter, an I'm sorry letter. Are you treating your art and your creative abilities with love and caring? Do you feel they're deserving of it? Will you only love and care for them once you get famous, once you achieve some semblance of external success, or will you love them and care for them now? Hmm. Oh, we've got some tears lacking in those proud, loving words from loved ones. And I just need to give it to myself. Yeah. Oh, wings. I don't feel anything with this one. Tune into that a little bit more. Ask your body to point you in the right direction, point you to a chakra, maybe throat chakra, actual hesitation before the word caring. Your body's not going to lie. If there is a word representative of something that needs some more attention. So great awareness with all of that. This one hurts, Dream State says, because not until this moment did I realize I have been creating with too much intent to sell than just from love. I feel you so, so, so much. And for a really long time, when I started writing, I think that that was always my aim as I'm writing to get published. I'm writing to achieve something. I'm not just writing to write. And that fluctuated, right? When I very first got inspired again to pick up a pen and pencil, it was all love. And then I started going to critique groups and writers groups and realizing the whole publishing world and getting all wrapped up in all the rules and how you have to do things and if you're ever going to make it and how saturated the market is, and was like, oh my God, completely, you can completely lose sight of the heart, the love, the caring for your creation and instead demand things from it. Expectations, thinking of, again, the mother, the divine mother. Can you imagine the mother energy? And maybe this sounds familiar depending on your upbringing. I will only love you or give you affection or give you attention if you meet my expectation for success. That's conditional love, my friends. That teaches you and causes your brain as a child to misinterpret that, because you're not able to say, well, that's you, lady, you got some issues. I have boundaries, that's your stuff, not mine. As a child, you just, oh, I see. I'm only lovable if I get an A. I'm only lovable if I clean the bathroom good enough. I'm only lovable if I'm better than my sister. I'm only lovable if there's all these things. So ask yourself with this one, if you're struggling with it, or if it feels like it's poking at something, where, at what point did you ever tell yourself or believe, I'm lovable if, I am only lovable if, and that's the work. Because we got to get rid of that if, we got to get rid of those conditions. We have to strip those back and remind ourselves that we are deserving of love as we are here and now. We always have been, we always will be, and we will treat our art and our creative abilities with love and caring. You are the mother, the parent of your creative journey. It's hard to parent yourself so that there is enough love for your art. Yeah, that's what we're learning. So much great stuff in this chat. I wish I could keep up with it all. Deep shadow work, great. Kaz, recognizing that shift in energetics. I would have been triggered if I had heard these last night, but today I feel open. And it's no wonder that you feel open. This is a 24-degree moon. I can go into that, but my sensei teaches me that that net 6 energy is that energy of openness. So that's beautiful. You're feeling open. Today's feeling more open for me. Great work. Doing the work. SC, I see you. All of you doing the work. That's beautiful. I'm loving that you guys are all caring for each other in the chat, though. Thank you. So that's a little bit of a tender one, I see. So we can grasp onto these affirmations that feel a little harder. And again, we can say, nope, that doesn't resonate with me. I'm going to go over here. Or we can recognize the opportunity to pry open that oyster and look inside and find that pearl in this experience and heal and love. Mother of pearl. Okay, spirit, thank you. That pure pearl, that beautiful, right? And that comes from the grit, grinding, chewing on the crusty bits of our life, creating that pearl from those experiences, right? If we're willing to do the work. And if you need help doing the work, that's why I'm here. Send me a message. Let's work together. All right, this next one. Let's take a couple deep breaths, because that one was really heavy. I feel like a lot of stuff came up for you all, which is good and beautiful and wonderful and perfect, but let's release for just a moment. I am feeling into my creative future, and it feels so warm and comforting. Can feel some resistance to this one. Let's say it again. I am feeling into my creative future, and it feels so warm and comforting. Paying attention to your body, saying it one more time. I am feeling into my creative future, and it feels so warm and comforting. Feeling into your creative future. Does it feel warm and comforting? Maybe there's some work to do there. What does your creative future feel like? It feels warm and comforting. Gabrielle saying creative future, those two words together in and of themselves are comforting. I see that. Just admitting to yourself or declaring to yourself, commanding to yourself in the universe, I have a creative future. This is my future. I'm on the path. I have a creative future. Feels comforting to Gabrielle, but maybe it doesn't to others. Maybe it feels scary, impossible, out of reach, cold and demanding. Paying attention. How can I cultivate a sense that my creative future is a warm and comforting place to be? How can we plant the seeds of a creative future that feels icky to us? Part of us will always resist that because it believes it's pain. Maybe you're an actor and you love acting, but the idea of getting famous might scare the bejesus out of you. So there's a part of you that's going to sabotage yourself in getting those roles until you recognize that and bring safety and security and nurturing and comfort to the idea of your creative future, because you will always be at home in yourself. No matter how famous you become or how well your art sells, you will always be in home in yourself, in your body, in your mind, in your feelings. You're the container. You're the cup that holds the water. How will you cultivate that safety, that warmth, that comfort to contain your creative future? Give it some thought today. Give it some thought today. We've got some tight hearts. We've got some fear and anxiety of the unknown for the future, right? A discomfort in showing up big in your creative future. You feel into your creative future and you feel, oh, wow, I have a really big mission. I don't know what it is exactly, but I can feel into it because you're all extremely sensitive. Again, your gift feels like a curse sometimes, but you can feel into your creative future and you go, wow, it feels really big and scary. And it doesn't feel safe and it doesn't feel comforting and it doesn't feel warm. It feels overwhelming and it feels anxious. So, how can we bring in calm and comfort and nurturing and safety? I've got your back. Say that to yourself. I got your back. There is nothing that could disturb our peace because I got you. All the way, every day, walking this path with yourself. I got you. We're going to be good, and you're going to keep growing. And even though those things might bring up fear or anxiety or heart pain, when you think about them now, it's because when you get there to that creative future, you won't energetically be where you're at now. This is the work. You're being shown where you're energetically at right now versus where your creative future is energetically. Spirit is trying to help show you being helped along your journey by being shown the discomfort. It's a gift. Future seems scary, Gabrielle says, but the creative future is comforting and warm. That's interesting observation. Hi, Janelle. Welcome. Hi, Rafa. Okay. So let's make some affirmations. After we've talked about today, each of you who's been participating in this have already observed some tender spots, some room for growth and expansion, some work. Okay, cool. Thank you, Cancer and the Moon, for helping us see. So we can clear the soil, so we can create this bed of delicious compost that is going to nurture the seed and grow it into the creative life that we've always imagined. So I want you again. This is perfect because the last affirmation asked about that creative future. Let's stay focused on that for just a moment. What do you want your creative future to feel like? The fear, the anxiety, set it off to the side. Okay, that's how I feel now. What do I want it to feel like? What do I intuitively know it feels like there? You take a deep breath, you grab a crystal, you go within. I want you to write that feeling word down. I want you to write that down. Thank you for being here to allow me to share my heart. Thank you. What does that new way of nurturing your creativity feel? What does that, if you can't get to that creative future without nurturing your creativity, your creative expression, your heart, what does that nurturing feel like? How are you? How do you be inside yourself when you're nurturing and loving your creative expression? What does that feel like? And if you want to share, you can share. I'm going to tune in real quick. When you're nurturing your creativity in that creative future, what does it feel like inside yourself? What does your container feel like? Mine feels strong and loving. Gabrielle's feels present and full. Janelle says expansive, safe, and liberating. Ooh, I like that. Mm-hmm. That nurturing container is holding your creative future. What does it feel like? Safe, peaceful, and blissful. Yes. Mm-hmm. Beautiful, beautiful. So now that you have this feeling, you're tuning into this feeling, I want you to add some details. I want you to add some how, some where, some with whom. How do you feel strong and loving? You feel strong and loving about your creative abilities. Feel peaceful and blissful in your body. along your creative path, just in general. Add some details after strong and loving or after whatever feeling that you've written down. Liberating, supported, free, confident, nurturing. Where? Come back into your container that's holding your creative future. It feels this particular way you've identified. Try to add some detail to it. Where do you feel that security? And maybe that with whom is to yourself or within yourself. That's what I'm going to write. Feel strong and loving within myself all along my creative journey. Adding some detail. Body, filling up your soul. Very good. Now, you may have to adjust for grammar, but you're building an affirmation that is in complete resonance with your soul as an awakened creator. So it's worth the work, the writing practice, remembering your grammar. I want you to put I am in front of your feeling word, right? So you should have a sentence now that consists of I am, the feeling word, and then a bit of detail that you, and again, you can adjust for grammar if you would like to make it make more sense. Say it out loud to yourself, at least the tongue. If it doesn't, make some adjustments. I'm going to change a word. Creative journey to creative evolution. That's what I really feel. So mine says, and you're welcome to share yours. I am strong and loving within myself along my creative evolution. Or I can even say, I'm a writer. I'm going to change this up. As I evolve creatively, I am strong and loving within myself as I evolve creatively. I like that. So let's see what you have. My heart stays warm and open and full, and all is aligned during creation. Gabrielle, beautiful share. Thank you. It's the gorgeous exercise. The crystals I have to support me today are azurite and apophyllite. I don't know either of those. I'll have to look those up. That's cool. See, I am peaceful and blissful in every moment of my path to creative and spiritual freedom. Dang. Beautiful. That is a powerful affirmation. Dream state. I am supported within my artistic community. I believe anything is possible for me. I am free to express my true self without fear of judgment. I am confident in my creative path, however it unfolds. Leveling up on that trust, that faith. All is well. It's all working out. However it unfolds is exactly perfect. Beautiful. So I want us to take a moment to And you can continue adding your affirmation to the chat. I'm going to go back while we're in prayer and read these. So on like a little prayer request, whatever it is that you are trying to call in, bring in, plant the seed of at this Cancer new moon. We are going to, as awakened creators, affirm it for yourself and ourselves because all that good juju deserves to be shared. So if you feel it resonates with you, you can open your heart to receive it. Otherwise, you are the master of your own fate. So, center in our hearts one more time. Dear Spirit, God, Goddess, Universe, thank you so much for this sacred moment and space and time to connect as a creative family, as a collective of sacred heartists, as a beautiful, beautiful group of people who are devoted to living in our hearts, creating from our hearts, and expressing our hearts. Thank you to the archetype of Cancer for helping teach and guide us to the energy of true nurturing, true mothering in a balanced and beautiful way. For teaching us how to love and comfort ourselves along our emotional ups and downs, to keep ourselves safe with proper boundaries and allowing ourselves to love ourselves, love our art, care for and nurture ourselves along our path as creators. And so today, under the darkness of this new moon in Cancer, we affirm the following for ourselves and for others. And we ask that each affirmation spoken be of the highest and greatest good and serve all of those who are in need of it. I am warm and open and full, and all is aligned during creation. I am peaceful and blissful in every moment of my path to creative and spiritual freedom. I am supported within my artistic community. I believe anything is possible for me. I am free to express my true self without fear of judgment. I am confident in my creative path, however it unfolds. We now affirm all of the things spoken here today for our soul family. And we ask that it be made manifest, knowing that as we speak it, so it shall be done. And so it is. Thank you and amen. No worries if you didn't get your affirmation in on time. You can still drop it in the chat and we will affirm it for you as well. So before I leave you, I just want to remind you about next week. Next week on Wednesday, we will be doing another channeling question and answer session. So if you have something on your heart, if you've been moving through some difficulty along your creative path and you would like some clarity, some guidance, I will be channeling spirit on Wednesday next week to answer your question specifically. So all you have to do is send me a private message, or somehow get in touch with me, usually via Facebook or Instagram. Present your question to me. They are answered on first come, first served basis. So usually we have tended to have time for about 3 questions. So if you feel called and you're like, yes, this is exactly what I need at this time, please make sure you send your message to me ASAP so I can make sure you are first in line there. So I will post in my stories and just a regular Instagram post next week asking for questions. So again, if you feel called, you can respond to that. Thank you, Gabrielle. This was truly special. This is such a beautiful new moon. And even though there are some difficult energies coming up, because we've all lived really tender lives at times, I do pray and hope that this Cancerian energy, uh, you can embody it in a way that is warm and comforting and nurturing to you on this new moon. So thank you all for being there. Kaz, beautiful healing experience. Thank you. Thank you for creating this space with me. Thank you for creating this space with me. I love you all so much. And I will see you next week on Wednesday. Have a beautiful rest of your week. And I will see you again soon. Bye for now.